Hi, fellow data science learners. This is Quick Expert Infotech, and I'm Sujit Mishra, your data science trainer. And today, I will discuss with you about the data science course offered by Quick Expert Infotech. Before we start, let's know about the institute. Quick Expert is a well-known professional training institute located in Mumbai. Quick Expert offers variety of IT courses for individuals keeping pace with rising demand of skilled manpower by industry. With focus on overall learning and development of students, Quick Expert ensures smooth transitioning of student to desired job profiles in corporates. Find the contact links in descriptions below. Let me introduce my credentials. I am working in the field of data science and analytics from last 8 years. I have delivered 60 plus sessions in vigorous institutions across India, including IITs and NITs. I have worked with Statistica, Shari.com, and Ernst & Young. Find more about me on the mentioned links. Data science has become one of the buzzwords that everyone hears almost every day. Terms such as artificial intelligence, analytics, chatbots are spoken among common people. With data related technological advancement, we now equipped with machine power that helps in solving many complex problems faced by organizations. Let's see some data science facts. We all agree that we are living in a digital information era. By 2021, there will be more than 50 billion smart connected devices in the world, collecting, analyzing, and sharing data. By 2021, about 1.7 megabytes of new information will be created every second for every human on the planet. 1 billion pieces of content are shared via Facebook's Open Graph every day. Even Google uses 1,000 computers to answer every single search query. Every second, 60,000 search queries are performed on Google and 1.2 trillion searches per year. Last year, an estimated 1 trillion photos were taken and billions of them will be shared online. Nearly 80% of the photos are taken on smartphones and most will become searchable data online. Majority of data, around 70%, are created by individuals, but enterprises are responsible for storing and managing only 80% of that. A 10% increase in data accessibility will result in more than 65 million additional net income for the typical Fortune 1000 company. It is IoT explosion and automation that will create the data boom. Less than 0.5% of all data we create is ever analyzed and used. In US, bad data costs 600 billion annually. And thus there is a requirement of data scientists. In US, data science market is rising. 1,90,000 data scientists are required every year. Thus, they are paid high. By 2025, in India, the data science analytics sector is estimated to grow eightfold, reaching $16 billion. As we see here, data scientists are in demand by industries like information technology services, internet, education, banking, marketing, consulting, healthcare, telecommunication, insurance, pharmaceuticals, and more. The reason data science is used by multiple sectors is because of its multidisciplinary nature. Data science have multiple subjectual understanding that one can adapt and learn and offer to the companies. Thus, one cannot just limit him or herself to a specific knowledge but can acquire multiple skills and can offer to different sectors available in the market. What is data science and What it requires. Data science is a multidisciplinary field, as I told before, that requires multiple understanding from different subjects. Although data science is mainly divided into three aspects. One, need to have good understanding of business, that is primary. One who have computer science knowledge could be a good candidate for data science. Another thing that is very essential and important part of data science is mathematics and statistics. As you see this Venn diagram, it elaborates that kind of picture where one can see that if you have knowledge of either of two, you can see that where you fall. For example, computer science and mathematics, the knowledge gives you a good understanding of machine learning algorithms. Similarly, one who have good understanding of a business or a domain expertise and also good with mathematics and statistics could be a data analyst. One who understand the programming aspect of computer science and as well as business can build tools. The amalgamation of all three mix and gives a picture of data science. As shown before, data science requires three aspects. One of them was business or domain expertise. What it exactly mean? Why it is required? Different business or different organizations who apply data science would like to have answers for different or complex questions. What you see on your screen, the data science answers following questions for organizations such as if a business want to retain their clients, data science answers those. Similarly, how can they attract new clients for the business? How can they find the new potential clients? How cross sell, upsell, and profit optimization happens? What a client need or demand from the service or product? What they require most from the business? What could be the future of the sales, marketing, advertising, and how they can optimize different cost and benefits. That's what data science answers to different organizations. For example, let's say one needs to see that who are the employees who will leave the organization. That means who are the candidate or the employees who are prone to or are have high risk of leaving the organization. Typically, this problem is known as attrition risk problem. It's a human resource management sector problem. Data science does answer that. Similarly, in many sectors like what we saw before, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, media, advertising, and so forth, in many sectors, the data science is able to answer multiple questions, benefiting organization at the end. On similar lines of project management lifecycle, there is a data science lifecycle. Typically, a data science lifecycle starts with a business problem. Any business which have certain problems to resolve would might need services of a data science experts. What these data science experts do? They first come to the business and try to understand the process and the operations before getting into the actual working of the problem. So, this data science experts like data scientists would first understand the business, how the business works, the strategies, the policies, the operations. Afterwards, once they understand how the business is working, based on the problem, they will define certain metrics, certain KPIs, and depending on those, they will acquire the likable data, the data that will help them to solve the problem. The data could be part of the whole data process or could be the whole data. So it requires data acquisition from different sources, structured or unstructured data, or from the cloud data, or from the different file formats. Depending on where the data is coming, there is a pipeline that is decided, and they are then acquired to the local system or sometime on the cloud. There is a data preparatory step called data wrangling, which requires certain exploration activity for understanding of data. Once this team of data science experts understand the data, they start the modeling. Modeling requires knowledge of feature engineering, different algorithms from data mining, statistical analysis, machine learning, or deep learning, or artificial intelligence. The modeling cycle is typically a iterative process which requires training, testing, and evaluation. This phase once get over, we find a reliable model that we can deploy. The deployments are typically happen in version controls. If the live model that has been deployed, let's say a performance monitoring system or a scoring system, then the evaluation is been checked thoroughly for a certain time interval. Once the deployment phase is work, the deployment gets worked out, that is success or failure of the deployment. Depending on that, the revisit of the phase like data acquisition or remodeling happens, or otherwise the customer do accept the deployment or the deployed product, and that's how a data science project ends. Although it never ends, basically it goes on till the time there is a requirement of remodeling of the existing deployed model. Thus, a data science lifecycle ends. How one can be a data science expert? To become data scientist in true sense, there is a roadmap, there is a journey that one has to follow. As shown on your screen, one need to clear with their fundamentals. The fundamentals that they might have studied during school days, college days, and so forth. It starts with statistical understanding, their knowledge of probabilities or linear programming or simple equations that they have solved and formulated while being in school or in college. The mathematics they have studied, which will be useful in understanding the logics behind every programming script. The programming script could be of any language, for example, R or Python. Once they get acquainted with the programming sense or programming scripts, they can go and learn different machine learning algorithms, ranging from data mining to machine learning to deep learning. Also, they could understand different data visualization techniques or tools. For example, learning simple diagrams like histogram, flowcharts, or scatter plots or learning different box plots that they can utilize in designing dashboards. This journey goes on when there is a high amount of data that has been fed upon, and then there is a requirement of complex problem understanding which comes once you are well equipped and skilled with the prior setup of knowledge. One who then understand different data ingestion technique, data munging technique, and learn different tools, and also have good hands on the business domain that they are expert of, that is, there is a subject matter expertise that is required to solve the data problem. And that's how one can say that they are data scientists in true sense. One who is starting their journey very initially can start their journey as a data analyst in any organization. And from there on, they can learn different tools and techniques and enhance their skills and knowledge and keep on growing in the industry and can become a data scientist. Or through academia or through institutes, they can learn the same. Where can you apply all the learnings that you have done before? So, there are tools that are dedicated for certain work. For example, there are open source or proprietary tools that you can use to apply all the learnings of data science. On your screen, you can see there are tools like Python or R are available freely for the people, or they can utilize tools like KNIME, RapidMiner, Alteryx, which will be useful in having inbuilt functionalities of data science. Through user interface, they can interact and apply those algorithms that they have learned. Depending on the use, whether they are doing data preparation, data visualization, or data modeling, or modeling of algorithms, or pattern learning, or doing deployments, they can utilize the tools from it. They can deploy the models on cloud, which is now a necessary thing depending on the requirement of clients. Here at Quick Expert, we have defined a very elaborative and detailed syllabus for data science, which touch upon every aspect of data science that is been required by the industry standards. As you see on your screen, there are total 15 units. One where we start is with Introduction to Data Science and Advanced Analytics, where we talk about data science, the descriptive, diagnostic, predictive and prescriptive analytics, and different type of algorithms from statistical to data mining to machine learning. Going forward, we talk about the language that we are going to use for our scripting purpose. For data science, here we are going to use Python. So we'll learn the installation of Python, we'll learn different types, data structures, list, dictionary, tuple, array, functions and classes, control and loop structures. We'll move forward with the advanced analytic package available in Python. For example, Python offers pandas, numpy, matplot, seaborn, etc. We'll do statistical understanding like descriptive and inferential statistics. We'll do exploratory data analysis through this statistics like applying measure of central tendency, dispersions, probability distribution, correlation, covariance, understanding of outliers, missing values, sparse data, and also understanding the sampling methods and hypothesis testing. Once we are done with all these basics, we'll move to the algorithmic aspect of data science, starting with time series forecasting, learning how a time series data works, how different algorithms approaches like ARIMA and GARCH are applied in time series. Next is supervised learning. We'll be learning the regression and classification problems here through algorithms like regression analysis, linear and multilinear regressions, and then stepping into classification like logistic regression, decision trees, random forest, XGBoost, KNN, SVM, NBC, and MLP. We'll also learn unsupervised learning through clustering and association rule mining. Learning more about AI, which offers neural networks. We'll learn about the types of ANN. We'll learn about how NANN work and how we can do hyperparameter tuning. Learning more into deep learning, we'll be talking about the Google TensorFlow, the Keras API, and the comparison with TFLN and PyCharm. We'll be learning Keras API in details here. There are types of neural network. So the next topic would be about convolution neural network. And here we'll learn about how we can do complex data processing and learning the patterns from it. We'll learn recurrent neural network like long short, long short term memory, like that is LSTM, and using GRU. We'll be learning natural language processing, text analytics, and the types of or the steps of the text analytics. In between, in every topic, we'll be talking about the model improvements and validation that is essential to build a robust and very good performing model. We'll also have a overview of different analytical tools ranging from business intelligence, database systems, and cloud services. The syllabus is designed in a way where we'll be doing more of projects and case studies, which are not just limited to what we are seeing on the screen. Every unit will be having at least 4 to 5 programs that we'll be doing to understand the algorithms in detail. What we are about to see now is a Python script written in Jupyter Notebook. This particular script is about a case study from the banking sector. This deals with a marketing analytics problem where a financial product subscription is predicted. Let's see the line by line script and get a glance of how a code is written to deploy a machine learning or data science model. So as we have discussed in the data science life cycle, there are steps that we'll need to follow, and the primary steps are to understand the business problem, to get the data that is that will be utilized to solve the problems. There will be a defined problem that we have to solve. So here it is a classification problem. We need to decide on what software and tools we have to use. We'll be using the packages like XGBoost and scikit-learn. We'll be doing some data exploration activities, and further we'll be doing the data pre-processing steps, and we'll be training the model, which is a iterative process. We'll be doing the model performance evaluation there. We'll be checking on the imbalance of the data through application of weights and etc. And we'll be trying to resolve the issue and get the best model fit in this problem. Further, we are going to see the data set. These are the different features available in the data, which are the columns, the independent variables. These are bank client informations, and the target variable, which is about whether a client have purchased the subscription or not. Similarly, we have to discuss While building a ML model, what kind of challenges we face usually? So we face data insufficiency, we face bad data, we face imbalanced data, we face irrelevant features, overfitting problems, underfitting problems, and whether or not the model will be generalized for deployment or not. So such are the problems that we face during the model building cycle. Going further, we have to know that which are the packages we are going to use. So we are going to use pandas, numpy, which are the basic packages for all the operations. Then further, for the specific model learning, we'll be doing sklearn and xgboost that will be utilized. For data visualization, we'll be using matplotlib and seaborn. Going forward, whenever we are going to do data exploration, we are going to use those packages, specifically the visualization packages. This particular data set is coming from Watson Analytics, a cloud service, but for simplicity, we are going to use the local data stored in your local repository. As you see on your screen, the data exploration is done through different functionalities, different classes and functions. This diagram is about the class imbalance. So many of the people are not purchasing the product, whereas very few people are purchasing the product. So we are also doing the statistical analysis of the features, the correlation of the feature with the target, and different sort of graphs are being used, and statistics are being used to understand the relationship of your features to your target, so that you will be able to decide on which features to be used for the input of the model. And yes, going forward, we'll be doing a lot of pre-processing steps before entering into modeling phase. And in the modeling phase, we'll be utilizing the XGBoost with different variation of the parameters that is essential to train the model. So yes, this is how the flow is. You can have a look here, and at the start you see the prediction is not going well. We'll see the evaluation of it. The evaluation metrics that is being used here are ROC, AUC curves, and as well as there are some statistical values like precision, recall, etc. So these are different evaluation metrics that is very essential, very important to understand whether your model is doing good or not. So these are the ROC curves that you're seeing on your screen. This is a misclassification matrix. As you see, there is a lot of misclassification on the like 224 people we are doing wrongly predicted. Then again you see precision values and recall value. The recall value here is 0.32. For us it is a very important value which we have to improve. So recall value need to be improved. Why? What it is showing that 32 people are the people that we have predicted who actually have purchased the subscription. So we are losing on 68 people. And yes, you can see the F1 score there. You can see again the accuracy score. The accuracy is fine here, 0.9 is very high value, but again that's giving you a wrong impression that the model is doing well. The impression of the model to be right on the imbalanced data is about checking the recall value. So there are different things that we do, like feature selections and feature extractions, and thus we get a better improved model. What we see now here is that our recall value is now improved by doing all these operations, and this is 0.98 now. So it's a very high jump. On accuracy has gone down 0.43, but again what is more important for you is to decide on whether or not you will be able to give the right people the right subscription. So that's more essential here. Again, yes, we'll be doing the evaluation and at the deployment phase, the diagrams that you saw was of that. And that's how we solve this particular class imbalance problem. And many of the models utilizes the same steps what we saw just now. There won't be much of the change what we saw in the data science life cycle. One can have the additional learning for data science which will be useful while they'll start working with any of the organization. We'll be teaching you about the Git, about the DBs, and cloud services like Google Colab, Amazon Web Services, or Microsoft Azure, advanced Excel, and the features that is been inbuilt with Microsoft Office, and Tableau for business intelligence, and Tableau for business intelligence. We hope many of your questions have been answered here. But still, having any doubts or question to ask, feel free to reach us before taking up the course. Thank you.